Hello ladies and gentlemen, Q here again, and this time we have a discovery slash tutorial on the incredible linear motion battle system for RPG Maker VXA. That is the Tales of Battle system for RPG Maker VXA by Moghunter, and you can download it on the Moghunter website. I've linked to it below, and I honestly admit that I haven't really gotten into the script, so I will be kind of exploring with the system, seeing how it works, and hopefully you guys will get something out of it. So let's go ahead and get started. Once you've downloaded the file, this is what it's going to come up. So you see that he's already set up a nice little, let me go ahead and kind of mute the audio here. He's already set up a nice little demo for you to play around with. Right, and in the demo you have your basic enemies, and you don't really have the fancy menu or anything like that. But you do have the enemies, and you already have the linear motion battle system pretty much set up, so you can just go ahead and get started if all you want to do is play around with the battle system. But of course, we all know that what we actually want to do is configure it so that we have our own characters. So that's the first thing that we're going to try to figure out how to do, how to have our own characters in it. And so of course, the way the system works, I would guess that it calls on some sort of graphical images. So let's go ahead and see if we can figure out where they're stored. Probably in Battlers, yes. All right. So let's go ahead and focus on just one of them. We'll stick with RPG. And I'd guess that the tags here after the name would be the actions that they take, right? So this would be the animation for dashing, this would be the animation for taking damage, this would be the animation for dashing, for when they're dead, when they're defending, etc., 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 right? So here's idle, and so on. And I would guess that each of them have a certain defined number of poses. So for example, here we have dash F1, we have damage F1, we have cast F2, and the trend that I'm seeing here is that the F number is a direct link with the number of animations. So I'm going to guess that the F tag indicates the number of animations. And so here we have Athena dash, the animation for dashing would be that one. And we have F5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so that seems roughly correct. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the database here for actors. We said that we are focusing on RPG, and we do need to have some tags there. We have the battler named RPG. I'm not really sure what dash would do, but I'm hoping that that would be explained in the script, which we'll be looking at in a little bit. We have flight height, we have move speed, and we have guard rate. And what I'm wondering is, do we need the character here, or can we define, right? So this would be Athena, who you fight at some point. So do we need that there, or can we define Athena as an enemy? Yes, we can. All right. So action frequency, and we have move speed, dash, jump, and so on. Right. So I'm guessing that these would be the actions that the characters take. All right. So let's go ahead and close this for now and look at the script itself. Let's see. These are just the cursor and all that stuff. So you have the Mog action time, the battle hub, battle resorts, battle cry, combo count, animation. Here we go. This is the one that we're after, the LMBS. All the rest of them are Moghunter scripts that we're already familiar with. If we've used some of his solder systems, they're usually integrated into the Atelier, into the master demo. So what we want to look at, what's different, is the LMBS, the linear motion battle system. And as usual with Moghunter, they're in Portuguese, but I'll go ahead and see if I can translate them. Let's see, it needs these graphics, battle cursor.png, battle cursor actor, and so on and so forth in graphics system folder. So let's go ahead and look at the graphics system folder. Let's go ahead and play around with some of them, right? So we have the battle cursor PNG. It would be this one. Let's go ahead and open up paint.net, and let's just make it our own. So we go into here, we just kind of throw that in there, open, and what we want to do then is just kind of We delete this and we replace it with something that looks nicer, like for example a basic up arrow. That was sarcasm. By the way, this of course doesn't look nicer, but we are just trying out how things work, right? For the linear motion battle system, not for the rest of the visual stuff. All right, so there we go. We have a brand new battle cursor. For a game, what other dependencies do we have? The battle cursor actor. So let's see if we can, all right, here we go, battle cursor actor. And let's go ahead and modify that one as well. And what I'm guessing is that the battle cursor is the one that you target the enemies with. The battle cursor actor is what indicates which character you as the player has selected. So let's go ahead and just do like a basic arrow here, right? Just like that. And then we're going to throw some red inside and some yellow outside, because why not? All right. So that's what our character selection arrow is going to look like in our makeshift game as we continue to discover the Moghunter linear battle system. We have F escape A and B and icons and shadows. So let's see what those do. F escape. Oh, these are the escape bar. So let's go ahead and just kind of throw those as well into our paint program. All right, and for this we'll just do a simple black and white. And for this one, let's just go ahead and delete the escape word and just write it like this. In yellow and green, and then maybe blue, maybe some red, maybe some purple, escape, and a black one, escape. Let's go ahead and do some exclamation sign at the end on white. So there we go, escape. Do remember that what we're doing right now is testing out stuff, right? We're exploring, we're not really sure how everything works, so we're trying to discover how everything works, right? So those are the dependencies. We have F shadow. So let's see, F shadow would be the shadow that's reflected at the bottom, when a character, for example, jumps or flies. So let's just go ahead and do a shadow that looks nicer than that one. So maybe let's just go ahead and throw some color on it, maybe some crimson, and poof, there we go. That's going to be our shadow. All right, so we save the shadow. All right, and let's see. Here we have an explanation of the tag system. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some of our characters. We go back and open up the battle system, right? So we have the battler name, meaning Arche or whatever. Let's go ahead and do another one because we already talked about Arche. Let's do Farah, right? Farah. Or Chelsea, she's here. All right, so we have Chelsea. Then we have the position type. She's casting, right? We have F, S, and H. And I would guess that F means number of frames per pose. So F1, just one frame. We have S for speed of animation pose. That one's optional. And we have H for defining the height of the image, again, optional. Right, so let's see if there's any of them that use S or H. This one, that's S. S was for the speed of the image, right? Does anyone else use S? It doesn't seem though. Here we go. All right, so basically S is used mostly for when you have more than one frame, and it's optional, right? And let's see. So here we have an example. We have Leon when he's casting. We have Leon when he's taking damage. Both of those are one frame. We have Leon dashing. It has 4 frames and has a speed of 6, etc., etc., etc. Here we have the list of the poses that we can use. So we have cast, damage, dash, dead, fall, guard, idle, jump, victory, walk, and using skills and items. All right. Let's see what else we have around here. That's just relevant stuff. All right. So these are for projectile images, like for example, fireball. Let's go ahead and look up that example. Fireball example should be in graphics projectile. So projectile. All right. There we go. So fireball 2 frames at speed 4, fireball 2 4 frames speed 3, and so on and so forth. Right. So let's go ahead and create a new one. Actually, let's go ahead and do that for the tutorial here. Let's call this what? No, I can't really create a new one there. Right. That was silly of me. Let's open up our very awesome Paint editor. We call it Paint, right? Not Paint.net, just normal Paint. Let's go ahead and do a very mighty fireball. Right, so there. Right. Of course, it's going to have 2 colors, so that one and that one. And let me just go ahead and save that. I'll go ahead and save that on the desktop. We call this Fireball. Now let's go ahead and put my brand new Fireball into the graphics folder. All right. So that's there. And what we're going to replace is the ice pier image when we get around to it eventually, right? For now, let's just remember that we do have that custom image. Let's see, what do we have here? All right, so these are more tags that you can use on your battle system, right? These are the ones that you use for your characters in the database. If you guys remember, I'll go ahead and open it up. We look at the database and we have the characters, right? We have dash, right? This one has dash, jump, double jump. Right? This one has dash, air jump, jump, move speed, and so on, right? So those tags that we were looking at just now here in the script section, move speed, X, jump, double jump. These are things that you have to plug into your character so that they can do it. All right. So if you want your character to jump, it needs to have the jump tag. All right. So let's see if we can find maybe a character that for some reason doesn't have jump. And of course, I think the one that flies isn't going to have jump, right? So she has dash, RHA. So you know what we'll do is we'll take Leon and we'll take his jump away, right? So he doesn't need a double jump, he doesn't need a jump, and so he doesn't need an air dash. He's just dashing, right? That's all he's doing, right? He can move, right? So we go back to the script, and what are these for? Abilities and items. All right, so apparently abilities and items can also use tags. Let's see if that's true. Here in the system, that's absolutely true, right? So potion, auto target, and so on. And I would guess that those tags have to do with how you use them in battle. So when someone, for example, is going to use the magic water, that pose takes, I would guess, 0.7 seconds. It uses auto target and it can heal everyone, or rather it can be used on everyone, right? And what else do we have? These are the different parameters that you can use. Some definition. This definition is for area effects. Here we have the event commands. Those are probably already preset, so when you have the dash value, that's going to be lower down in the script when they actually get to assign value to the variables. The same with the air dash, the jump, and so on. So how high can they can an actor jump? How high can an actor double jump, and so on. All right, and so let's go ahead and see if we need any sort of modification for the system itself, right? We have the default speed, we have ground height, meaning where the character starts. We have the turn duration, so if you want a character to go faster or slower, that's what you want to play with. Remember that these are the default settings. Same with states. If you want someone to get poisoned for longer or shorter, you can probably change that in the skills themselves, but these are the default values. If you want to change escape rate, how often you can escape from battle, then you set that here in escape ratio. Default speed and height and jump speed, right? So if you don't define a jump speed in your character in the database here, right? So we go to actor, Leon can't jump anymore, so let's go to Athena, right? So we have jump, and if we don't want to give her any further definition on how high she can jump, then she will just jump the default height. And so enable dash for all false, because we don't want everyone to start off being able to dash. What we want to do, the way the script apparently is set up, is that if you want a character to be able to dash, you go ahead and state it here. All right, dash means forward twice. All right, enable jump for all false. All right, and so on. I think really these are kind of self-explanatory. Double jump animation ID. All right, let's see what that means. That would be in the database. So we go to the database. Animations are here, and that was 126. Let's go ahead and scroll to, here we go, double jump. All right, so that's the animation that's going to appear in a character when he double jumps. All right, they're going to and have that like little right when they jump up. So when they do air dash, I would presume. Right, and if you want to change the animation that's used for jumping or dashing or whatever, then you would do so here. So let's just go ahead and play around with that. Double jump animation ID. Doesn't matter because we removed the double jump. All right, but let's see if we can find the dash animation. Air dash animation. There, let's go ahead and give them 120 and see what happens. All right. Shadow enable true, shadow position, the character -5, right? Just dynamic position, yes, that should be controlled through the database and start position. Yes. There's lots of stuff that we don't really need to mess around with. Here we have the buttons that we want to use, right? That configuration is pretty important. So attack button is going to be C. The skill button is going to be Z, the guard button is going to be Y, and so on. All right. I suppose you can play around with those if you want, but why bother? They're already there. And then from there on, what you have is the actual script. The configuration is from what's above game temp. All right. And that you can play around with if you want, but whatever's below, then maybe you don't want to touch that. You don't know what's going to happen if you change any of these other things, if you're not really sure what you're doing. And if I went into that, that's going to take, forever. So let's just focus on the configuration. You can play around with some of those things if you want. All right. And so what I want to do is maybe make an actor of my own. So let's go ahead and change the maximum to 6. And we're going to call this one Joe. And Joe is going to be able to do the same things as Athena, because, the other guy can't jump anymore. So we go ahead and copy all this stuff. We put it down here, paste. And let's go ahead and find a graphic for Joe. Joe's going to be the old guy. And his face is going to be the bearded guy, because I'm not really here. Right, and is he going to have weapons? Yeah, let's give him whatever's basic. Bandana, leather top, and so on. Of course, the battler name is going to be Joe. And do we really need anything else here? We have Joe Soldier. He has some stuff. Right, I think that would do it. Right. So let's go ahead and go to the system and let's replace Leon with our new main character, the brave, heroic hero, Joe. All right. Of course, we need now to give Joe his battle animations. Right. So we go ahead and go into graphics, battlers. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to work off Leon sprites. So let's see if we can find Leon. Here is Leon. I'm lazy. I'm going to work off Athena. She has less. All right. And so what I want to do is I'm going to just copy her. I'm going to copy her onto the other monitor for a second, and then I'm going to take all of those images, throw them in here in my paint.net. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the animations for Joe. So this one is dead. So just go ahead and do Joe dead. All right, so just zoom in, and I don't like that color for drawing stick figure. So here we have Joe dead with 2 X's. All right. Then we go over here. This would be the dash animation. All right. So we delete, and that one has 5 frames. So let's go ahead and do zoom in, and then here's like Joe. That's one. And this, by the way, I'm eyeballing, but if you want to actually get it right, what you probably want to do is just kind of add a new layer. This is a way better way of doing it. And then you kind of draw your animations on top of it. So let's actually do that. So we have, Joe running like this. That would be the first frame. Here we have the second frame. Here we have the third frame. Here we have the fourth frame. Joe's going to be like the best character ever, really, I swear. And here we have the fifth frame. Now that we've done that, we can just go ahead and just delete the original. Back in there we have Joe. He's going to be such an epic boss. Right, and so here we have Joe guarding, so let's just go ahead and do the same. There's Joe guarding. Boop, boop. There we go. Get rid of the original. Right, and of course, as you can probably tell, I am not the best artist. Right? That's actually absolutely fine when it comes to making games. A lot of people just like to focus on the art element of the game. I don't think that's necessarily true. Just because a game looks pretty doesn't mean that it's any good. But if you are an artist, right, that gives your game like an extra layer of depth, especially if you have consistent aesthetics. Right? So if you have a game basically that plays good and looks good, you win. If you can do that, then you're probably just an incredibly talented individual. I suck at arting, as you can see. But that's fine, because that's not really what I'm trying to do right now, right? I'm not trying to art. Right, but what we are doing, though, is setting up this new character so that we can use him with, again, the original one that we've created here in the database, a very awesome Joe, whose battler name will need to change in a little bit. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue here, editing our character. Right, so this would be the skill use. This would be Joe using a skill. There, good enough. Now we go ahead and delete. For this one, this would be Joe using another skill. How many skills do we have? Alright, so we have 3, 2. Alright, so it seems like the skill use is just 3 and 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy this one, paste it here. Alright, paste. Skill 3, oh, whatever, expand canvas size, doesn't really matter. Alright, so why did it not paste? Well, of course it didn't paste because we have the other background. So here we go. We copy this and we just go ahead and paste it here. Boop. That's going to be our skill forever. And now let's go ahead and draw the second skill. That's just going to be the second animation. That's kind of the same one throughout, so we can just go ahead and copy this, copy, and then paste, and we just kind of move it over each of them. So paste, put over here, paste, put over here. The reason is so that the reason that this has 5 frames is so that when they do the skill, he just kind of posts there, right? She kind of posts there. You know, in this case we have Athena, so let's go ahead and delete Athena at the bottom, the Athena base. Right, so there's Joe, and we're going to go ahead and copy this because there was another 5 frame skill. If I recall correctly, here it is. Right, paste. It's a little bit bigger, so you can just go ahead and expand. And there we go. Good enough. Here we have another skill. One with a kick, so boop, 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 boop. Then here, like this. Boop. Good enough. That was ridiculous. There we go. Any other movements? Yes, so many movements, man. Kind of tired already. Let's see, when we're falling, let's do that one first. You can probably, you know, if you don't want to follow along all this paint editing stuff, you can probably just skip forward a little bit till I'm done. I'll probably just put a marking in the video, like a tag, so you can skip forward if you want to. On doing this, I think I've gathered so much respect for sprite makers, people who actually do art stuff. That has to be incredibly time consuming. I mean, I've been at this for like what, how long already? 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20. And all I'm doing is stick figures. So imagine someone making actual art, how long they're going to take. I've actually seen a couple of you know, spriting videos. They speed them up, and now I understand why. Because if they were to show the whole video, it would be what, 10, 15, 20 hours easily. So that's Athena guarding. Here's the idle pose. What I'm going to do for idle is I'm just going to do 1, do 2, call that good enough. Copy, and just going to paste that over and over. I go down here, we delete Athena, and here's the jumping animation. Go over here, and here is the... Okay, got it. Ugh. This is kind of like the peak animation when they reach the top. Alright, and I think that would be all of them. Alright, so let's just go ahead and squish all the layers. I feel like I should have just deleted the bottom ones, and that probably would have been easier, but it slipped my mind. At least in some cases it did. Right, so like here, delete. Right, so that was good, that was good. Delete the bottom layer, delete the bottom layer. Alright, and we're good. So let's go ahead and save. So just save everything. Okay, 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 okay. Continue saving. Alright, and right now you have the images for our character here, right? And they're called Athena because we got them off the Athena base, but of course we need to rename them to Joe if they're going to work. And luckily in this script, in the linear battle motion script, unlike in others, you don't need to define anything for your characters in the script itself. Right? The script already has some predefined Joe actions and parameters, and all you need to do is tell the characters in the database what to do. The database Joe is going to read those actions, link them to certain images, and Joe, that's how it works. It seems to me it's a fairly efficient model. It seems to me, Joe, it's fairly easy to use, at least once you've gotten the hang of how the tags work. Joe. 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 3 more. Joe. 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 Alright. So now that we've done that, we can go ahead and take our Joe animations and throw them in to the Battlers folder. Right? So we have our Joe animations here. We have our Joe character defined here in the actor section, and we've set him up as the main character. So let's go ahead and see if it works. All right. We run the line battle system. We go ahead and click on New Game, and we have Joe walking around. And so when we go into battle, there's our character, the very awesome Joe. All right, so that's who we are. So Joe's going to do an attack or something. I guess we'll be using an item. Use a potion on, there we have our awesome arrow. Use a potion on this person. Right, so here's Joe attacking. Or was it this button for? Yeah. Right, so we have Joe doing stuff. And that's it, really. That was our double jump. Oh, by the way, there's our shadow down there. It looks super cool. Right, you can see our shadow down here, right? But yeah, basically that's how you add a new character to the linear motion battle system. Oh yeah, he's running. Joe runs. And then victory. All right. So that's how you add a character to the linear motion battle system. You guys already know how the script itself works. We've already gone over the basic configuration systems here, and we looked at the rest of the stuff. All right. If I missed something, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to go over that again. Or if you didn't get anything, or if there's any other script that you want me to do. But next time I'm probably going to start playing around with RPG Maker MV, the new RPG Maker that was released maybe a month ago. It looks really fun so far, but I haven't really gotten into it, and that's what I'll be doing next time around. So I will see you guys next time.